Howdy folks, it's Age with the Hunting Gear Guy. This is the Mossberg MVP Patrol. It's a kind of a shorter barreled 5.56. It's got an A2 flash hider on there, or maybe you could put something cooler depending on what country you're in. We've got some iron sights on there, nothing on the back because we just removed it. And we've got a rail on top, which is what we're probably going to run, like a scope or a red dot or something like that on here. It's very lightweight, and it runs AR mags, at least this one does, so that's kind of neat. And it locks open too, that's kind of neat. You can see there that the chamber is empty and our magazine's empty, so we're going to take a closer look at this thing. First, starting off with the butt pad here, it's I don't know what kind of like waffle pattern it's got in the rubber there, but there's definitely some empty spots in the back here. That's going to make for like a little bit of padding. Not that it matters. 5.56 doesn't have a ton of recoil, so who cares, right? Getting up towards the front there, we've got, I hate this kind of safety, the up on the right side kind of style, but at least it's kind of reachable. Reachable over up here? Not really. No, not really. Well, you're up there, but it is reachable. The bolt itself feels pretty good for in the hand. Just got like a round nub there. And in terms of lift, it's got a bit. You're not going to want to run like a scope with a big ocular and low down, big eyepiece, because you might bind up with that bolt there. But with a red dot far forward like this, it's just fine. The bolt throw is nice and short. This is a short action with the 5.56, and yeah. Going to make it a little bit quicker, a little bit lighter too, because the receiver doesn't need to be as long because it's made specifically for that long action. Only on the other side here, we've got a little gas pedal, and that's to remove our bolt. So we press that gas pedal down, and there comes the bolt right there. And you can see that it's got kind of an interesting way of doing it. It's got like a little lip here on the bottom here, and that's to pull those rounds off of your AR mag. Now, if you're in Canada, you're going to have one of these pop rivets in there, something like that, to limit your magazines. But if you're in Canada, or sorry, the US or whatever, you're not going to have something silly like that. You're going to have a full magazine. Don't need to press that gas pedal. You can just put the bolt right back in. Along the bottom, we've got our space for our magazine. I'm just going to use this big one just because it's easier to grab. I found the mag well not bad to use. The mag release, just being right there, is a little bit hard to grab. I think this rifle would compare most closely to the Ruger American Ranch in 5.56, and that one has a button on the side. It's also a little bit further forward. You're not going to be reaching it either, but you can get it. Like, this is going to be a little bit hard to get like while you're like out here. There's not really a way of getting around this like big stinking mag, right? For a small mag, this style of mag is released. I think it's fine. For a big one, you're kind of reaching around it to pull it out there. Nice rail along the top, fantastic. You see I've got a red dot on here. A low magnification scope, like an LVPO, would be a good idea as well. Or maybe like a 2:7 or something like that, or a 3:9. I wouldn't go too crazy with magnification. And we've got a pretty short barrel here with an A2 flash hider like we saw before. I believe our barrel length is 16 inches. That's to, appease. The Americans have like a barrel length kind of a thing. Here in Canada, for a manually action, it doesn't really matter. So, like, especially with one where you're not collapsing or telescoping the stock, you could have as short as you really wanted to on something like this. But this feels like a decent compromise in terms of like a short barrel on a 5.56 is going to give you quite a bit less velocity. 16 inches is okay. It's when you get down to like 12, then 14. That's pretty bad. 16 is not too bad, and I feel like the speed on it is really good. I had no problem running it nice and quick at the range, and the accuracy out of it, using the ball ammo I was shooting, was acceptable. It was right around 1.5 to 2 inches, which is what that ball ammo should really do. It shouldn't really be getting much better than that anyways. So why don't we head out to the range and shoot this thing a bit. standard bolt style. Now this loop here is going to make this easier to pull apart because you're going to be able to get a bit of wire through there, put it down into your vise, and then pull it and unscrew the bolt head to take the whole thing apart. I'm not going to show you that, but you can find that kind of stuff online. Let's take the rest of this thing down. So I'm going to get after these action screws. So we'll do the middle one here. I'm using a 5/32. This is American, so I assume they're using, you know, inch pattern Allen keys. Okay, oh, it's got a little spacer on there. Interesting. Okay, I'm going to grab this one just in front of the trigger. I don't know if I need that one or not. Do I need the rear one? I don't think I need the rear one. I think that rear one's just holding on that trigger guard. And it is, yes. Kind of starting towards the front here. This is a barrel nut. See that little hole there? Yeah, that's probably to grab on there. We got a lug here. Nothing else too crazy here. There's our trigger group. I believe that's using their lightning trigger on there, which is can be dialed down nice and light. And this one, yeah, I don't see any externally accessible adjustments on it, but I'll just put in the notes here if it is externally adjustable or not. Inside the stock here, we are pillar bedded, so we see those metal pillars, those kind of pipes there. That's our pillar. We have a removable magazine well. That's kind of interesting. I wouldn't expect that on a rifle like this. And there's our pillars kind of left in there. One thing I didn't take note of is that front screw there has a bit of a metal kind of a insert just so that it's got a good fit on the inside of that stock, and it just kind of holds it in place there. So what are we left with? Well, I think it comes down to, should you get one of these or should you get one of the Ruger Americans? They're pretty similar. This is a pretty lightweight version, this MVP Scout, so there's, you know, that to consider. I find that the Ruger barrel is a little bit draggy on the way in and out. This one's a little bit more fluted, so that might be an advantage. I'd prefer the Ruger magazine release to this one, but I mean, neither of them are going to be that great. They're both going to require you to, you know, either take your right hand up or pull your left hand to grab it. So neither of them are going to be great for that. But in terms of like a nice lightweight rifle for maybe coyotes or something like that, if you wanted to have a rifle on your tractor for shooting coyotes, oh yeah, 223, nice and light, easy to stash like somewhere in the tractor while you're, you know, or a combine or whatever while you're doing work. And if you see a coyote, pop it, fantastic. As a 3-gun rifle in Canada, it's depressing to say this, but this is one of the better options right now. Trigger pull is great. Accuracy is going to be good enough for, again, for the kind of things that we're going to be doing. Anyways, thanks for watching.